How you guys doing today? I'm gonna show you a little thing that I was doing back years ago. 22 long rifle shorts and longs. When you would shoot them, you didn't have any blasting caps or anything to help save your striker or your firing pin. So we pretty much had to make them our own, and we did it just for the pure functionality of the gun. Or, you know, like a kid, you want to sit back and doodle around and play around with it, but you didn't want to break the firing pin or anything. So what we were taught, since we didn't have any snap caps, on a 22, it's actually a pretty simple little process. What you could do is just take off one of your 22 rounds of you know, I usually use like just the cheapest that I can find. I'll grab my pliers, and I want to grab it not on the nose. Try to get at an angle here. Not onto the nose of it, but right into the main bulk. And just give it a nice little cinch. Then I'll push down onto it. And, you know, as you see, it's bending. I'll push down onto it, and just a couple little wiggles help you get it right out. And there we go. And then you just take it on out, and I'll put it over here. A little powder in that thing, but you know, as you see, it's not, you know, it's still pretty good and round. But I'll take the powder, empty it out. See, a little bit back there, doing a couple of them. And I got 3 of them here that are unfired. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll put them into a rifle or a little revolver handgun, and just pop them off real quick. Right here, older Remington here. And what I'll do is I'll take the unfired round, cycle it in here. And then just give it a pull. It's not loud, just a small little pop, much like a cap gun. Now I'll pull it out. I'm gonna be careful here because it's gonna come out. A little smoke. There we go. I got that put back away. And you see here, you know, that striker pin. The whole thing is you want to keep the getting focus here. You want to keep the pin from hitting the face of the barrel. And when you're a kid, you know, you just want to keep dry firing, because you know, you need to know how to pull the trigger, what kind of pull it has onto it, and cycling it. If you're cycling it through like a semi-automatic, you can take the bullet head and place it right back in there. You know, just a little bit of work manipulation. If this is burred up too much, you just run a little sandpaper on top of it, smooth it off, and try to get it angled up here a second. But you could put that back in there, and then you can put it through your semi-auto and just keep pulling back and keeping them cycling and going. I like these better than the others. I did try the other snap caps. Went out and bought them, just give them a shot. And the thing I don't like about them is that I bought the orange ones, and there's like little fibers into it, and the rim ended up coming off. And I just, man, if there's plastic, if there's something in the way of that system, I'm not saying plastic's bad or whatnot, but when you're out shooting, and if you don't properly clean out your firearm, that plastic can get warmed up and actually melts up, start gumming things up. And anybody knows that, plastic will, it when it gets hot and it starts turning into like a little rock, that can cause a problem. But after you shoot so many of them, just like anything else, but these are pretty cheap. So, you can see it. This one's actually been through a good number of them. Here's another one right here. That one's been through a good number of them. And then when they get like that, I'll crimp the ends off so that way the kids, couldn't quit putting them in there and going over and over and over with them. But, that and another thing with these is the extractor. Once you get that extractor going over this to grab that and pull it out each time, you're making little sharp edges that could be hard on that extractor. So after they get a nice little star going on, and this right here probably costs maybe a penny, if that. This is just your bulk box shooting stuff. This this ain't really high grade hollow point or anything like that for a 22. But once they start creating an edge up onto it, just throw it away or just crimp off the edge, so that way the kids, they don't keep shoving it up into it. But that's what I do, and I've been doing that for quite a while. On the extra powder that I have left over, I like to keep at least one or two good, what I call a good dummy round. And what I'll do is I'll put that powder up into it, probably fill it about halfway up with powder, and I'll get some wax and tear off a piece of paper, get that paper in that wax, and then turn it into like a ball. Let the wax cool off a little bit, and I'll shove that right up into it. I'll keep them on the side. That way, if some dog or something wanders in my yard, I don't want to hurt him. There ain't no sense of doing that. He's just checking out the area. That's all he's doing. And I'll go out and just pop one off in the air and scare him away. And but no, I just putting this video up here to see if this is pretty helpful for you guys. But other than that, yeah. And if you decide to go ahead and put the bullet back into your casing, please keep in mind, safety. Safety's the first concern of anything. Keep them separate. You can look at the face. You can tell it's been fired off, and don't put the bullet back in there without firing that primer off, because if you do, it's going back in. It's not getting crimped up where it's good and tight. It's just setting in there, and just a little bit of pressure can actually blow that off and just stick it in your barrel a couple inches, maybe just a little bit, just enough for you to notice, hey, yeah, well, it ain't on there no more. I'll get to that later. And then later never comes, and then bam, you put this one into it, and you're gonna have one hell of a problem on your hands. The older 22s, they got them big old thick good barrels, but that ain't saying anything about your rifling. That's just these newer ones, your 22 barrel is just a piece of metal with a liner, little thin metal tube liner that's into it. So that can cause some serious damage. It can ripple it. Metal is pretty finicky when it comes to stuff like that, but I hope this video has been somewhat helpful for you guys. I'm sorry if, you know, this thing ain't focusing in or out or up or down. Just trying to, you know, help you out here. You know, there's one with, you know, the primer's still, a little powder in there. But there's one, you know, the primer's still right up into that rim of that thing. But yeah, you know, you take it and cycle it out, and you know, that's empty. We'll go ahead and we'll throw this old Remington bolt, and there we go. You know, safety. You know, safety's off, and get a real little squeeze right there, and that's that. And there we go. That one didn't go off as like it was supposed to have. It's probably been a dud. You know, you can't win them all. All right, here's one here. We'll see what happens. There we go. A nice little pop. But yeah, I hope this has been helpful for you. And you know, just keep in mind, you know, if you want to cycle out some stuff, try to keep that that pin from hitting the face of your barrel. And you know, if you don't want to go out and spend money on these new blast caps, snap caps, whatever they're called, this is an alternative to doing it. I've done it for quite a long time, but the best safety that you're ever going to find is the one right in between your ears, and that's your head. Use your head. But after you have shot it out pretty good, yeah, crimp it off, throw it away, get it out of them kids' hands, and you know, it's a real good learner for them to, you know, feed it in, or maybe you done a little gun work to your thing, and you just want to pop it off a couple times, make sure it's cycling good, or you just cleaned it out and you want to re-oil it, and you want to pop it off, and you don't want to spend money on any snap caps and all that. And you know, it's real simple, just to rip out a bullet from one of these. Just crimp it off, a little back and forth motion, and bam bam, we're out. And it's really just that simple. So I appreciate you watching, and maybe that'll be helpful to you. Maybe it's something that you already know, maybe it's something you didn't know. But the face of that, it's good and round. It ain't gonna tear up nothing. The factory, they put a good little bevel crimp into that thing. And thank you for watching.